Got it. So let me open my Eclipse.
You're working on SOAP UI also, is it?
Yeah, SOAP UI, yes. That is to test web services.
Ah, yeah. So you're working on web service testing also, is it?
Yes, yes. Okay, this is fine. Just maximize. Okay, yesterday we started with exception demo, interface demo. So we are into exception handling. Okay, just I'm opening that project, and interfaces is get over. So I will close this project. Close project and exception handler. So inside that, so let's go to Windows, show view, navigator. So we are into exception handler project. So inside SRC, we have written some class exception demo. And yesterday we discussed three types of exception: compiler time, runtime, and error. There is three types of exceptions yesterday we discussed, right? So we'll go a little bit more details. So
Okay.
today what I want to do, I want to write one more class exception. So file new and class. So just I'm writing one simple class. So package name is com.excep, and class name I'm trying to give exception e. See, whenever you are writing class name, right, it should be capital letter. So if you give small, right, we need to follow some naming conversion, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you are trying to write a class name, we have to give capital. You can give small also, but if someone will see your code, right, they will think you don't know, how to write variable declaration also.
Standards, yeah.
Yes, that's what. Whenever you're trying to write a class name, you have to give capital. Exception handler demo 2, and I selected public static void main checkbox, so it will generate the default method. So this is the one. So just I will remove all those things and remove this default comment, and I remove this blank line. So here I am writing one simple class. What it will do, send SMS. So we are writing one class. Inside that we are going to write one method, public, 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 and I want to return string send SMS. So it will return string actually. So string means success or failure. So for send SMS we need two parameters. One is message and one is mobile number. So message, and one more is mobile number, MOB number. So it required two inputs. One is two string inputs. One is message and one more is mobile number. And finally it should return success or failure, the message sent. Right now directly I'm hard coding success. Right, fine, right?
Yeah.
And inside this main method I'm trying to create an object for this class. Just I created an object, and SMS dot get is this. What happened? SMS dot, and just I'm trying to call that method, just send SMS. I am passing. Message is hi and mobile number is some 10 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 0. So this is the message. String status. Hi Ramya, you can able to hear me?
Yeah, I am able to hear you.
Okay, fine, no problem. Okay, just status. So just I written a simple class, and inside that basically this method will take a message and mobile number, and we will send the message to the corresponding mobile number. That is a business logic, but right now we are not writing that logic. Just we are sending status as success. Directly you are sending status as success. So message sending means it's not easy task, right? So we need to communicate with different vendors or telecommunication network, and sometimes the network may failure. STATUS. Okay. So right now I'm displaying. I'm trying to run this program. So I'm getting success. This program is simple, right? Just one message, and I'm returning success. Let's suppose if something went wrong, how to notify? Let's suppose we are not able to send message due to some network connection failure. So we need to notify this user, right? So we are not able to send message due to this network failure. So how to convey the exceptions? How to send the illegal failure things to the user? So this class is the user, and this class is the provider or service provider. This class is the service provider, and this class is the end user. So
Okay.
here, right, I'm trying to write one simple thing. Integer I equal to 9 by 10. So now what I will do, I will try to run this one again. So now also success. Now due to some reasons, right, I pass input as a 0. Let's suppose consider this below number also is coming as part of argument, and now just run. What will happen? See, now nothing. See, we are not displaying any status right here, right? So inside the, if you see the console response, we are not displaying any status, and we are displaying java dot lang dot arithmetic exception. The end user don't know what is java, what is lang, what is arithmetic exception, right? They don't know what java at all. They know only one thing: message and success or failure. If it is failure, what is the problem? They know only three status. So how to handle these scenarios? So to handle these scenarios, we need to write try clutch, try, and try. Inside try you can write whatever the statement, the whatever the possible statement that will create that issues. So catch. As of now we know only arithmetic exception, so I will write the same exception, arithmetic exception, and we need to give some variable name e. So, and this is the one. So now what will happen again? Now I'm trying to run the, so now we got status as success, but in original case this message sent is, this message it's not sent. Why? Because right now I will display the, I will add one message here. Error OCCURED occurred. If error is occurred, right, and I want to add one more statement also, sending SUCCESS success. See, if this statement not raised any exception, then this statement will be executed. So let's suppose if this statement got raised any exception, right? If it is raised in, if it will raise any exception, then this statement will not execute directly. It will execute. In case of exception, it will execute, and it will print this statement. So let's see. In our case, it will raise one exception. So this will not execute, and this piece of code will be executed. So let's see what is the you will get. See, we got error occurred, means directly after executing this statement cursor came to this statement,
Okay.
error occurred, and after that finally we are returning success. Actually here message not sent successfully, right? So consider this is sending message logic. Sending message logic. So the sending message logic got failed. So it's not executed properly. It's not, the message is not sent properly. So we know just by seeing this message, we know, I mean, the message sent successfully is got failed. So in that case, how to handle that one? So let's consider, don't pass 0, pass some number. So now again trying to execute. So now sending success. So this line got executed, right? This line got executed and it's not executed. This error occurred. Why? Because now message sent successfully and these two lines are executed. So whenever any exception occurred, right, from below onwards, it will not execute. So let's suppose here a number of statements is there. This statement will not execute. If this line will throw exception, these three statement will not execute. So how to
Okay.
handle these scenarios? And also we need to convey the message to the end user. So how to convey the message? So here, right, so we need to read through the message, whatever you are getting, through E. So we are getting here some message, something happened, then we need to read through the message. So whenever you are throwing this message, just whatever exception you are getting, same message you are transferring to the end user. So here also you need to mention THROWS throws. So what kind of possibility or what kind of possible exceptions will throw this message? You need to specify here. One possibility is arithmetic exception. So here only one catch is there, right? So only one type of exception you are throwing. Only one possible is there. So let's suppose there is one more scenario is there. XCATCH multiple catch. This is the new thing. So let's suppose there is one different exception may possible, null pointer exception. So right now we don't know what is null pointer exception. Just we can remember this is also one type of runtime exception. So here THROW through E. So these are the possible exceptions. Just we are expecting. So inside this try catch block, how many statements is there? These are the statement may generate these type of exceptions. So let's suppose this statement will generate arithmetic exception. So we need to throw. So based on the exception type, what kind of exception it is raising, that particular catch block will be executed. After once the execution is done, we need to read through the message. Whatever we are getting same message, we need to read through and we need to specify the exception types. One is possible scenario is arithmetic exception and one more is null point exception. So like that, how many possible exception may occur, that many catch we need to write one by one. So right now I written here only two catch blocks. If you are thinking that is based on your logic or statements, whatever you are trying to write, that many catch blocks we need to write, and whatever the exception you are getting, and we need to throw and the same message object, and we need to rethrow, and we need to specify the possible exception types here. That is one thing. Now the service provider is done their job. So the service consumer, right? So whenever you are calling this method, right, you can see this method. If you see here, right, see here, this is the method signature, send message, and it will take two strings, message and mobile number. Also see there is exception handling, it is displaying. So this method may throw arithmetic exception or null point exception, so be careful. So this method may throw two types of exception, arithmetic exception or null point exception. So the end user, whenever they're calling this method, so it will give you a hint. So you need to take care, this method may throw these kind of exception, so you need to handle that one. So how to handle that one? So to handle that kind of scenarios, if you are not handling, what happened, if this method will throw exception, so these lines below, let's suppose you have written 100 lines, these lines will not execute actually. Once this statement got throw some exception, then these lines will not execute. So how to handle that one? So even though whether it is success or failure, we need to execute these lines. That is our goal. Maybe it is success or failure, we need to execute these lines and we need to do some business logic. So how to receive the exception? So how to receive the exception? So for that purpose we need to write here again try catch. Try catch. So try catch, and here I want to tell one more point. So yesterday we have discussed error and runtime exception, and these are compiler exception. So these are existing predefined classes. There is some relation is there, like arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, all this class. So arithmetic exception, this is a one class. It was written by JDK people. So this is a subclass of exception. Exception also is one class. It is part of JDK, and this is a super class, and these are subclasses. Some relation I am going to tell you. So these are the subclasses, and these are the parent class. These are super class, and these are the subclass. Also, these are the subclasses, and these are the super class. So this is one of the super class. So throwable also it is one of the class, and exception is the subclass for throwable. So there is some relation is there. So just I'm trying to tell the relation. So right now, in our case, we may get arithmetic exception or null pointer exception. For arithmetic exception or null pointer exception, super class is exception, right? This is clear, right? This point.
Yes.
Okay. So arithmetic exception or null pointer exception, for these two subclasses, super class is exception. So whenever you are trying to catch the exception, you need to write the same class. Either you can write arithmetic exception here, or like you can write in two ways. One is either arithmetic exception, you need to write again the same thing, like null pointer exception, sorry. So you can write same as it is or super class of these two classes. So this is also correct, or else you can write another way also, like I said, exception. So exception means that is a super class of these two classes.
Okay.
So these two are both are equal. So now you can display, you can write one statement here, SMS send failure, and just declare this variable outside. Why? Because this is a one block, right? So inside this block you declared one variable, and outside of the block this variable scope is not available. So whatever variable you declared inside this block, you can able to access this variable inside this block only. So what you do, just you declare this variable just outside of the try block, and but string default value is you can assign null. So for string, right, default value is null. So we need to declare one variable. This is clear, right? Just I declared variable outside and I'm assigning here, and again I'm trying to print over here. So if message is sent successfully, then what you will get, what you will get the status success.
Okay.
Okay. If message failed, right, what will happen, this exception will be thrown. If message failed, if in case of message sending failed, then we are throwing a message. So also we are catching the message, and we need to update the status here. Status equal to failure, failure. So these lines will be executed only in case of exception. If this method will throw an exception, then only these lines will be executed. Otherwise these lines will not execute. Okay, this is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I will try to run this program. So sending message is success, and here right now there is no exception. 9 by 10, this is a valid statement, it will not raise any exception. So what I'm trying to do, instead of 90 I am passing some failure scenario. So this statement will throw an exception of arithmetic exception. So again I'm trying to run. See here, now status we got as failure. So now we are not displaying any what is that message, java.lang.arithmetic exception, right? Even though if you want, we can, but right now we are not displaying. Why? Because whatever the exception it is raising, just we are catching the exception and we are rethrowing to the end user. So end user again is catching, and based on that is giving the status is failure. Okay, if this message sent successfully, it will not throw any exception, then it will not execute, then only the statement will be executed.
Okay, I have a question
Yeah,
here.
tell me. Yeah.
Why do you have like try catch statement in the method as well as in the exception handler?
Yes. Let's suppose if there is no try catch here, right? What will happen? This statement will not execute actually. If once the exception will thrown, so if there is no try, just think, just imagine if there is no try catch and only one statement is there. Once the exception got written from this method, then below whatever lines is there, it will not execute actually if there
Oh,
is no exception. But we should not throw blindly, right? We need to tell some status, success or failure. So if you are not providing try catch here, right, so below lines will not execute in case of exception scenario. So I don't want to do that blindly, some error message. I want to display some proper either success or failure. Okay.
yeah.
Okay, that is fine. And that is the purpose of throw and throws. So right now and I want to display the message. Let's suppose if you want to see the message, what message we received from the service. So how to see the message? So here, right, we are receiving exception and e. So take here e dot get message. So e dot get message. Yes, this is the one. So it will return a string actually. So just copy that one and failure colon and message. So what type of, why the exception came and what is the exception? What is the problem actually? So you can take the exception object e dot get message. So this is an inbuilt function. So by seeing that one, you will understand. So I will execute again one more time. See here, we got a message called divide by 0. Actually, that is the issue. So that is the issue. Just because of this issue, we are not able to send the message. We are not able to send message.
Okay.
So, but end user don't know what is slash by 0, right? So he don't know. So how to send some customized exception message? So that is the one more scenario. You are educated person and number cannot be divided by 0. If let's suppose take the mobile phone using so many people, right? So we need to display network failure. We should not display unable to connect socket. Maybe due to connection issue, we are not able to send message and we need to display network failure, and we should not display unable to connect socket. The end user don't know what is socket also, right?
Yeah.
So in the same way here, we should not display slash by 0. So we need to display some proper message. So why? Because this is an existing exception classes.
Okay.
So that will return the same message. You can't change that one. So whatever existing is there, that will be fixed. We can't change that message. So how to write your own exception and how to write your own exception message?
Can we override the get message method?
Get message. Yes, that's what I'm telling. Yes.
Okay.
That is the user defined exception. Right now, these are the existing exceptions, right? Arithmetic exception, null pointer exception. Right now, you don't know what is null pointer exception. When I'm telling strings, right, that time I will explain null pointer exception.
Okay.
That is one type of exception. So now I'm going to demonstrate user defined exception. User defined exception demo, finish it. Okay, just I will remove all those comments and remove this one. This time looking for Nagendra might be joined. Okay, and that's fine. So okay, here I'm writing CLASS class the same. I don't want to write same send message. What I can write, class make a call. So this is a telephone, I mean, some telephonic IVR related thing. I'm going to write a class. So when you are dialing something, we need to tell one for English, two for French, something like that, right? So that is an IVR interaction. So if something went wrong, it should display the message. So network connection, some valid message. So how to display the exception message, converting into some valid message and display to the end user. So that is our message. Public, I'm writing one simple method. Public string receive call, receive call, and to receive call we need some number. So from which number you are trying to receive a call, return SUCC success. And now I'm trying to create an object for this one. Obj equal to new obj. So obj dot receive call. So I need to pass some number, and it will return success status. So that the status I'm going to print over here. Status. Okay, that's fine. So this is a simple class, just one method. I return a string, it will return, and success. So just try to run this one and we'll see the output, what we'll get. So we'll get success. Status is success. So let's suppose due to some network issues, we are not able to receive the call. So I will try to create one network issue. So int I equal to 9/10. This is a network issue. This statement will create network issue. Okay. So now try to run this one and see what message you will get. So we are getting java.arithmetic exception. End user don't know what is arithmetic exception, what is /by0. So how to handle this one, how to raise your own exception. So this one, right? So take one class. See, you need to write your own exception class. So this is the process class, and write the exception time. Call receive exception, call receive issue, RECIV issue ISSUE. So you can give any name, some valid name, call receive issue, that is the class name. And right after that we have to do one thing, extends extends. There is so many exceptions is there right now, we saw, right? Like arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, are so many classes is there. So whatever the class you are writing, that should be a subclass of one of the existing class. You can take anything, you can take null pointer exception, arithmetic exception, or exception. So right now I'm considering exception, EXCPTION, exception. So here, right, I mean, if you're not writing any constructor, so JVM will create one default constructor. So right now I'm trying to create one default constructor. This is the default constructor, and I don't want to create default constructor. I want to write one argument constructor, MESSAGE message. This is, I written a simple class, and it is a subclass of exception class, and I'm taking one message string as an argument. So just try to pass super MESSAGE. So what this statement will, you know, super, what is the super means? It will go to super class and it will try to execute a constructor having string as an argument. Clear, right? So this statement, what it will do, it will try to call the super class constructor having string as an argument. Okay, that is the purpose of this one. This is a simple one. Okay, again come to our scenario. So you write, so we are suspecting this statement may raise exception. Okay, this statement may raise exception. So write try catch, try, and again catch, open bracket, close bracket, and just what kind of exception may possible. So I'm thinking arithmetic exception, E. So right now whatever exception we are getting, right till now what we are doing, same message we are throwing, throw E. This is the way we are doing, right? So if a arithmetic exception we are getting and same message we are rethrowing, and here also we are writing THROWS throws. So this is the one we are doing. Whatever exception we are getting, same message we are throwing, and again what they will do, same try catch they will write for this statement. This is the funda happening, but we are thinking it will work, but it will not give proper message to the end user. So we should not throw the same exception whatever we are getting. So we have written one simple class here. So call receive issue. So what you will do, instead of throwing that message, you need to create an object for this one, new. And we need to create, when you are creating an object here, default constructor is not there, so we need to pass the message. So what message you want to display to the end user? Due to some internal issues, we are not able to, whatever, just I'm writing some meaningful message. We are not able to PROC process your call. So this is clear, right? So instead of throwing arithmetic exception, I written my own exception and I'm rethrowing that one. So here the message you can write whatever you want, and now we need to rethrow call receive issue instead of arithmetic exception. So this is fine. So the service is now ready. Now the service is ready. So at the end user, right? So whenever they are calling, right? So let's suppose object dot and they are trying to call this message. See, unhandled exception. This method may throw call receive issue exception. So we need to provide try catch with this type of exception type. So the same thing whatever we did earlier, like try catch. But in previous case, what we did, here arithmetic exception we have written, but now we are not throwing exception. We are throwing of type call receive issue exception. So just copy paste here E, and this line we need to keep inside the this one. The status, it is there inside this block, so it is not visible to the outside. Just copy and declare outside. And default value you can give null. String default value is null, and don't declare 2 times, remove it. So if any exception will come, then we need to change the status. So now the status message we are giving whatever we are getting from the service. So I'm not writing now failure. So just I will try to e dot get message. So e dot get message. So exception, whatever message you are passing here, right? So this message will be sent to the end user. This is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now I will try to run this one.
So whenever we are using throw,
Yes.
we use throws also, is it?
Yes, definitely. Otherwise, no use, right? That is, there is one condition is there here also. So what kind of exception you are throwing here? So let's suppose here you are throwing throw and exception you are throwing, right? Let's suppose if this exception is compile time exception, definitely if this exception is compile time exception, then definitely you need to provide throws here.
Okay.
If this exception is runtime exception, this is an optional. So that is the difference.
And
So
you think like you're using super in the constructor, right?
which one? Sorry.
Super in the call receive issue class,
Okay.
you are using super in the constructor.
That is to create our own exception here. Yes, this is the syntax we need to follow. Super, and we need to pass the message whatever we are getting here.
Oh,
This is our own exception. This is my exception class. I'm not using arithmetic exception, null pointer exception, class not found. I'm not using. I want to write my own exception class, and I want to pass my own message. And if you want to display the message, and here, right? So here just e dot print stack trace. So inside this object there is one method is there, print stack trace. Just try to run again one more time, you will see the difference. See here, now we got an exception, that is fine, but finally we are displaying status, right?
uh-huh.
Due to some internal issues we are not able to process your call. Also the exception also it will say clearly, now it will not display here. See, due to some internal issues we are not able to process your call, and this is our exception class. See, this is same like java.lang.doc arithmetic exception.
Yeah.
So this is some meaningful, right?
Mm.
So that is an advantage of user defined exceptions. So this is the way how to write, this is the way to write user defined exceptions. This is one example. So this is clear. And now I want to tell last one point for this one right now. So let's suppose if exception is happening, then what is happening? Let's suppose here if exception is happening and it catch block will execute and this statement will be executed. After that, whatever it is there, it will not execute here.
Okay.
Whatever it is there, it is not executing right now. It will not execute. So in this case, we are not returning status success, right? So just we are throwing message, that's all. We are not returning anything. So, but whether these statements are executed successful or failure, I want to execute some statements. So how to execute some statements? So that person finally, finally, open bracket, close bracket. So we need to, this is finally is a keyword, open bracket and close bracket. Here you can write whatever you want. Maybe you are let's suppose here you are interacting with a lot of in this statement, just assume you are interacting with a lot of lot of databases. Once the message is sent successfully, we need to close the database connections, right?
Yeah.
So that is the statement. Just one example, db connection closed. Such kind of house cleaning activities.
Okay.
Okay, let's suppose whatever resources you are opening here, maybe that is success or failure, but still we need to close always. We should not open in always. So whenever your task is done, either successful or failure, we need to perform some task, and that task will close the resource connectivity, all those things. So in that scenario we can use finally. So let's see, just try to execute and see what is the output you will get. See here, first this statement got executed, and after catch got executed. After that, finally is executed. See, db connection closed. So whatever you open connection here, that is got closed, and exception rethrow to the end user, and end user received the message. Due to some technical issues, we are not able to process your call. This is a negative scenario. Let's suppose call got connected successfully. Just try to give 9 by 10 instead of 0. In this case, it will not raise any exception and it will not execute this block, catch block, but finally will execute always. Whether call connected successfully or failure, finally will execute successfully, and it will try to close the connections always. So now try to execute again one more time. See here, db connection is closed and message sent success.
Okay.
We need to close always database connections, right? So that is an advantage of finally. And I mean, some 2 days before I said final keyword. Final keyword is used to avoid to change the variable values, or to avoid the to whenever you're trying to override any method, if you don't want to allow end user to override that method, we need to keep final. So there is two words is there, final and finally. So this is finally. So final is used to avoid the to avoid it to change the variable value or method overriding. So in that case we are going to use final. So finally is used to perform the housekeeping activities in case of exception handling. So that is the difference. This is one of the interview question actually. So that's what I'm stressing here.
Okay.
Final and finally. They will ask what is the difference between final and finally. Can you explain or can you give some examples, something like that. So you can tell this is the way, like variable value, method overriding, and exception handling. So then they will not ask anything. So this is about exception handling. So now I will close all this. So this is clear, right? Place,
Yeah.
concept, throws, and how to write your own exceptions. And finally, so now I will close this project. And now I want to give some small demo. I want to create one more Java project. File, new. We have 10 more minutes. Java. Just I'm trying to create project, Java project, new project, Java project, and now I want to give strings demo, string demo. Finish it. Just finish it. So I'm trying to create one new class. So file, new class, string demo. So here there is no package. So just I'm trying to give com.str. Package I had given com.str, and class name I had given string demo. I selected public static void main checkbox, so the default method will be generated over here. Just finish it. That's all. The package name, the class name, and some comments, remove it, and default comment, remove it, and blank line, remove it. Okay, that's fine. So now I will declare one simple variable called string name equal to ABC. So string name equal to ABC. The string actually it's one of the predefined class. So right now we use it so many times string, right? So string is one of the predefined class. See here. So if you want to see what is the string, just press Control and keep cursor over here, and you will see hand symbol. Click that one. So this is the string class actually, and it is part of JDK. So it's developed by Sun Microsystem people. So there is so many things is there. So we'll see one by one. See some basic things. So string ABC equal to, and we have assigned some 3 characters, right? So let's suppose if you want to count how many characters is there. So how to count that one? Let's suppose now right now 3 is there. It is very easy. I written some n number of characters. So how to count how many characters is there? So what is the SYS char nums? So these things are required for you when you are trying to explore Selenium, right? So this thing is required. String methods is required. So try to concentrate on it. NAME. So NAME is a string name, and inside that there is one method is there. Just keep dot here. See here length. So string is a one class, and for that I assigned some object. This is an object actually. So I assigned some characters. So now I'm trying to find how many characters is there. So name dot length. Length is one of the inbuilt function of the string class. So now just try to execute, and we'll see how many characters it will give. So actually total 40 characters is there. So here 40 is there. So right now I will give, just for our understanding, 3 characters. So right now again I'm trying to run this one. So 3 characters. So it's one of the useful method inside the string. This is clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay. One method is length, and let's suppose there is a requirement for you, and string AB string name equal to some characters is there. If you want to find, and it will give index actually, index for A, like how the index is happening, you know, A index is 0 and B index is 1 and C index is 2. So index will start from 0. So let's suppose here D is there. So D is having index is 3. This is clear, right? So how to find the index? Index. So again, name dot index. Index of, this is one of the inbuilt function, and here you need to pass the character for which character you are trying to find the index. I want to find index for D. So D, just now I said index will start from 0. A is 0, B is 1, C is 2 and D is 3. We know this is a simple one, and so we can able to calculate very easy. Index is 3. So try to run this one and we'll see the output what we'll get. So index of D is 3. This is this now I will change C to A. So A index is 0, right? Clear, right? A index is 0. Now try to run this one whether we are getting proper results or not. So index is 0. 0 means the same, like let's suppose if you have classrooms, right? We used to say section A, B, C, D. That is an index. So if you can ask a student where you are sitting, that students will tell I'm sitting in section C. The same way, if you say D means what is the position of D. So position means indirectly you can say index. So to find the position of a character, we are going to use index method. So you can pass the corresponding method and it will return the index. Let's suppose I'm passing one character is X. Actually X is not there here. So just try to run this one and what we will get. See here -1. If the character whatever you are passing, if it is not there in this list, then you will get the index is -1. Else you will get the corresponding number. So that is an advantage of index. And now one more thing. I will go caret. So let's suppose you know the index. Index means these methods are clear, right? So far?
Clear.
Okay, fine. And let's suppose you know the index. Now you want to find out what is the character in third index. So how to find out? It's reverse actually. You know the index, you know the row number, and you want to find out the corresponding character. So how to find this one? Actually these methods are very useful in case of Selenium. Whenever you are trying to, next when Sudhir will start Selenium, right? Or Sudhir or me, anyone will start. So that time these methods are very useful. So whenever you're trying to write a logic, right? So these methods are required. So that's what I'm explaining. So see here. So inside a string, there is one more method is called char at. So here you need to pass the number. So I want to find out the third index character. So you need to pass here 3. So it will give third index character is D. So right, try to pass and get the corresponding index. So here I got third index is D. Right now I want to get 0 index number. So the 0 index character, just pass 0 and try to get the corresponding character. So 0 index character is A. So this is also clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that is fine. So now I will declare one different variable num equal to null. So just now I said the string default variable is null. This is also one value actually. Value means for everything some default value is there, right? Like if you take number integer x, for number default value is 0, for string default value is null, and for boolean b equal to, for boolean default value is false. So these are the some default values. So right now we are going to just I will remove this one. Okay, so string nm equal to null. So I am trying to call one of the method of the nm. I want to find length. Right now I didn't assign anything, but still I want to find out the number of characters inside this nm. So how to find out nm dot, I need to call length. Fine. Okay, just nm dot length, and it's supposed to give the number of the characters. The same way here, number of the characters is here 4, and here right there is no characters assigned actually. So just try to run what we are what we will get. So here see, we got some exception, null pointer exception. So null pointer exception is the type of runtime exception. So you can able to compile this program very successfully. Whenever you are trying to run, that time you are getting null pointer exception. Why? Because no, so nm is pointing to null. There is no any value here. So nm is actually null. So you are trying to call a length from a null actually. So nm is pointing to null, and from null you are trying to call one of the method. So in that scenario you will get null pointer exception. If nm is pointing to some valid value, then you will not get this one, this null pointer exception. So but right now nm is pointing to null, so you will get null pointer exception. If you touch any method, not only length, if you call any method, let's suppose I will call something else, sorry, hash code caret. So this one also I am trying to pass, just try to execute. See here again I got null pointer exception. Why? Because nm is pointing to null. So this is one more exception of runtime exception type. See here, right now you know arithmetic exception, and one more exception we saw, null pointer exception. And let's see some other functions, character code point, hash code, index of. These are some 3 functions, and sequence, get, split methods. Yes. So I will comment this one. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we'll see tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello? Okay, fine. So far it is clear, right?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, there is some more methods is there. I will explain tomorrow.
Sure. What are the topics for tomorrow, and like what is needs to be covered actually in Java?
Yeah. Tomorrow what I can plan strings, and I want to take what is this one, JVM architecture.
Okay.
So you said no, I mean Friday, or so tomorrow I will take JVM architecture and string some of the methods.
Okay.
And if time permits, I can start collections.
Okay.
So basically we tomorrow we are going to concentrate on JVM architecture.
Yeah. So
Okay.
no threads and all for us, is it?
Thread also is there in my list actually, but it's not required, but I will give some brief introduction. That just I will show you the topics whatever I planned for you.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
Actually thread is there, but I can able to take threads for 4-5 days also, but that much in depth is not required for you.
Threads, yeah, IO files and all.
Training course list, course Java, I think somewhere I kept here. I used to take so many different technologies. No, I don't know where I kept actually. Just I'm trying to looking for.
No problem.
Yes, yeah, this is the one. So I have one concept: oops, interfaces, exceptions, files is there. Files is required. Why?
Yeah.
Because when you are trying to do Selenium, right, you need to read the test data from the file.
Yes.
Sometime you need to read the test data from the database. So most of the times you used to read the data from the Excel sheet or some notepad or whatever. So files is required and strings is required, collections. So I can take tomorrow files.
Okay.
So means JVM plus string pending concept. If time permits, I will start files. Okay.
Excuse me. Yeah, sure.
Okay, fine. We'll see tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, see migrate.